Well, hello. Hi. Looks like only members of this channel can send messages. Let me see what I can do to open it up to subscribers because today we opened it up to more people because it's post-election. And so I'm letting everybody participate. So just give me is that what I wanted? No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's see about this. Be patient, be patient. Just letting everybody find us here. Oh my goodness. There we go. Let's see here. All right, so anybody can participate who's a subscriber. I think we'll do it that way. Hi, Barb. Good to see you here. Hi, Life's a Mindset Lorraine. Thank you for being a member. Everybody who's a subscriber now, because I want to be able to open it up. This is our Saturday show. I was not able to get on Thursday. I had a bit of a stomach thing going on. It's one of the things I'm working on with my diet is sometimes I go a little crazy on the fiber, but I think I actually caught something. Anyway, I wasn't really feeling all that great on Thursday. I was able to shoot a couple brief ones. This is the Saturday show. We get together and we help people feel better. We talk about natural medicine. Some of you are healers and empaths, fairies and angels. If you're subscribers to the channel or members of the channel, of course, it helps pay for all the cool stuff like the lighting, etc. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Hi, Catherine Lane. Thanks for being here. Spirit Beyond the Stars is here. Welcome, welcome. Maura's in the house. Annika Loeffling, Nancy the Water Chick. Aw, thank you. Melody Harmon is here assisting us today. Catherine Bush, welcome. Alice L. Marie Sutton. So if you like what we're doing here on Saturdays, if you're interested in natural healing, hanging out with a green witch, I'm not really a witch, but what would you call me? The reluctant oracle. That's what they've been calling me lately. Yeah, this was what I'd planned for today's talk. The herbs that slow the aging process down. Look at all those herbs. These are herbs that we prescribe in naturopathic medicine to slow down the aging process, repair the cells when we are aging. Yeah. So that was what we were going to talk about, and hopefully still will. But people are still freaking out about the midterms. Hi, Carla Hipkins. Thank you for being a member. I also have an announcement. I have 3 benefactors. Lisa R. I just met with her yesterday. If you are a benefactor, you pay $99 a month and you get a free monthly reading included. So you also have priority when you want to meet with me. So if you are a benefactor, you get a free, 30-minute readings are $85. Usually we go over, though, with benefactors. We'll often go up to an hour, but it's a free reading every month, free remote viewings, and I think it's $99 a month. So there are 3 benefactors. If you have not contacted me yet to schedule your free reading and you are a benefactor, you can just go ahead and text me at our office number, and I'll go ahead and give you that right now. It's also mentioned all over my channel. But I need people, if you have paid for the benefactor and you haven't gotten your Tom, also, I believe his name is, out of New York, you get a monthly reading, but you don't ever schedule it. So I would love to do that for you. Please text me at 323-762-3982 if you are a benefactor and you need me to schedule your monthly reading. It's a great package if you are self-employed running a business and you need somebody like a remote viewer to come in and help keep you organized, keep you on track for goals, etc. And you also, in addition to getting a free monthly reading, you also get all the other benefits for being a member. So I just wanted to give a shout out. We do have 3 benefactors, and I want to make sure that you get your coaching, all your free stuff, naturopathic medicine tips, free readings, all of that. Please, please text me. I should probably check the names, but I know Lisa I've worked with. She's now on track. We take care of her. Tom, I think I've only given him 1 reading. Tom Viola, is that his last name? And then we have a third person who recently signed up, who I owe readings to. So, how are people feeling about the midterms? I had a couple supporters of Carrie Lake tell me that they don't believe me. Carrie Lake can still win. There's 2 million more votes. No, there aren't. There's not a million. It's coming out of Maricopa. We said that Hobbs was at close to 60% in Maricopa, Pima. So we can go, and based on just demographics and the votes left to count, we can call it for Hobbs. People had also said, well, it's going to be a runoff. No, it's not close. I want to be very clear here also. It's not a close race between Hobbs and Carrie Lake. It's not a close race. To be clear, Hobbs is already ahead 40,000 votes, with a couple 100,000 more left to go in Democratic strongholds. So I understand the importance that we have to count every single vote, because that's what you do in a democracy. But I also took statistics for doctors in med school, and I can look at demographics and statistics, and I can do the calculations. And also we threw cards because we like the cherry on top. We like a little HCRV in Tarot because we are that way. And so based on just demographics, based on just being just good old fashioned statisticians doing what we do, based on everything, we can call it for Hobbs. She can't make up 40,000 votes in a Democratic stronghold like Maricopa. It's just not going to happen. Even if by some miracle Carrie Lake got 50%, which has not happened up to this point in any Democratic stronghold, she would still lose by 40,000. So if it was 50-50, which is close to 0 chance, she would still lose by 40,000 votes in Arizona. So again, not to put too fine a point on it, Hobbs won. The issue is Nevada, because if you do the same statistics for Nevada and follow the wave out of Nevada, you're going to have to do a recount, because we're looking at literally only a couple hundred votes separating the 2 candidates. I think Cortez Matis still comes out and wins, but we're talking about literally a couple hundred votes. And so for that reason, we are going to have to see a recount in Nevada. I'm going to leave it to you guys because this is your channel too. And specifically, I want to leave it to those of you who are paid members and also to the elders here, which are the moderators, Geocosmic Valentine, Melissa Miller, etc., Pierre Walker. They get to decide today, do you want to talk naturopathic medicine or do you want to talk people off the ledge with the post-mortem on the elections? So I'm here for you. We do have it open to the public. Only subscribers can comment. The reason is because I'm seeing a lot of anxiety still. So we can talk about berberine and weight loss. But if this is the thing that's upsetting people the most, then we can open up spa day to the general public and just talk them off the roof. So again, let's go ahead and let the members decide. The Joanna Carson, Melissa Miller, Geocosmic Valentine, etc., who are, I'll let you decide what you want to do with the next hour or so, or however long we're going to be here. I'm good either way. And maybe just start up the spa treatment protocols for next week. Also, speaking of which, I finally had this removed. Remember my dark spot? It's still red. I got a peel, which is another reason why I didn't want to come in on Thursday. If you see vanity. This got burned off, though I think I have to have it done again because I still see a little bit. And then this. It's amazing how much got taken off. But I think this I might have to do another peel. I'm going to wait. They said that I have to wait like a couple weeks. And then these two, I don't know what it is. Anyway, I had some age spots removed, sunspots removed. All right, so Melissa Miller and the members are asking if we could please focus on midterms, and they'd like to start the spa treatment protocols next week. So that works fine for me. So we're going to go ahead when I get the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away. I'm going to go ahead and do the empath prayer. We're just going to go straight into blitzes, and I'm going to try and answer as many questions as possible for people on the midterms. And next week, Saturday, 12 noon, we will do the talk on age reversing and super herbs for reversing aging. Okay? Because that is what you guys are saying. Also, all the questions are about the election. So what would be the point of me talking about ginseng, right? I will talk about ginseng next week. People are not, they don't care about ginseng right now. They care about their democracy. I hear you. All right, let's do the empath prayer together. You know the words. Let's do it together. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen. Best prayer in the world. I love that prayer. Did I get my order? Oh, I did. Thank you, Barb. Barb Young has given us the order. So we've got a lot of people here to help. Let's see. The first question here is coming from Barb Young. Do you feel we will keep the house? Let's take a look. Wow, this is really interesting information that's coming out. Basically, regarding the House, they're saying that there are still several members of Congress that will fall. I still see criminal charges against Matt Gaetz. I also see potential criminal charges against other people that were involved in January 6th. And so we could be seeing some special elections coming up because extremists are being weeded out. This goes back to the remotes that we've talked about, where the FBI and the intelligence agencies in the United States are beginning the slow process of weeding extremism out. And one of the things that has happened has been a focus on domestic terrorism. Some of those decisions in terms of how to deal with domestic terrorism are not known to the general public. And so, for that reason, things are happening internally within the intelligence agencies which are not public knowledge. So, one of the things we see is just a massive shakeup in the House. The main thing that I see in the House is the shock and horror from the Republican Party because they cannot believe that the House is collapsing in front of them. They have lost control of the House. So even if the Republicans get 223 seats, it will not save them because so many seats are being weeded out by this slow, steady investigation by the Justice Department, which is going to trigger people to have to leave early, and possibly special elections in certain areas in the future that either weed out Trump supporters or create a new opportunity for Democrats. And so we can see that the first House in the Blitz regarding what is happening in the House is just absolute chaos. Chaos. One of the things that I've talked about with the Knight of Swords as an archetype is that he is a card often associated with domestic violence. We're talking about the people's house. And when we think about January 6th, we all got violated. We, the people, were violated because we own the people's house. We are the people. We are the government. That's how democracy works. And so they came into our house and they violated our house. We all became victims in January 6th because it represented the home of all of us. You can see the Knight of Swords, that domestic violence, that chaos, emotionally irrational. This is the kind of stance a person takes when they've lost control of a situation. And Trump, the days of Trump are over. The days of Ginny Thomas are over. I also want to point out that when we did a remote on Ginny Thomas, she looked like she had taken a lot of edibles, which is fine. It's legal in DC. Uh, she did. I got to tell you the truth. I don't think she lied. I think that Ginny Thomas told the whole truth and nothing but the truth. She was a true believer. And so what's happening is that the Republicans not only have absolutely no control over the House, they have no control over what the Justice Department is going to be doing, what the police are going to be doing, what the FBI and the NSA are going to be doing in terms of tapping phones. They have lost control of the narrative and they have lost control of the House. And so even if they temporarily get ahead by 3-4 seats, it will be of no avail to them because the rug is about to be yanked out from under them. And this creates chaos and frustration. And like a domestic violence abuser, they become more frantic and more violent the more they begin to realize that they have no control. And so that is what we see for the Republicans. What we see for the Democrats is a legacy. The legacy card is the 10 of Pentacles, and it has to do with a strong foundation, an inheritance. It has an aspect that can be negative in the sense that it can often represent family secrets, etc., wheeling and dealing, secrecy. Honestly, if this is the Democrats' card, Even if they win the majority, we still have the ability to take control of the House because of the upcoming indictments. And so again, here's the Republican future: chaos and violence because they can't control the situation. And here is the Democratic stronghold with an inheritance, wealth, etc. We speak the language of the people. We speak the language of democracy and a constitution and a legacy that comes with being an American citizen. And so for that reason, our legacy and our inheritance as a nation falls in the house of the Democrats. The hope and the fear for the country as a whole is, how do we move forward both here in the United States but also abroad? How do we move forward in terms of our international relationships? Ukraine, for example, we had said that we saw the fall of Kherson and a withdrawal of Russian troops by the end of October. I got it wrong. It was November 10th, I believe, when they agreed to pull back. I was off a week and a half. And now we have them trying to hold on to Crimea. So these are some of the issues that are going to be coming forward. And we see the concern for the future of the country is our international relationships and how we can kind of nip in the bud this metastasized crazy that has made its way to other places like Canada, etc., with what happened to Paul Pelosi. And then the final outcome for the nation and for the House is Gaia wins. The Empress, which is also symbolic of the planet, Earth, abundance. There is no blue. There is no green, red. There is only green. So it looks to me like if the Republicans get ahead by 2-3 votes, people will be pulled out, and in special elections, the Democrats will take it. They are tentative at best, and what I see over the House is the Green Party. Ultimately, they come together to they want to hunker down and get those new contracts. I always see Gaia as the outcome. And then the clarification over the House, the Republicans will be heartbroken. Out of control, frantic, screaming, ranting, looking for somebody to blame. Of course, Trump is the person they're blaming. And the Democrats in the House, justice is on their side. People are going to be arrested and go to jail. They will gut the crazies out of the House. And in that way, the Democrats will come from behind and take control, even if temporarily the Republicans have the majority. It's very clear here what's going to happen. The courts are coming in, the Justice Department. People are going to be drug out. The hope and the fear over our relationship with the international world, it will be restored and NATO will be strong. Our wish is granted over our international relationships. The future of Gaia, the wealth of the nation as we expand this goodness into infinity. The Ace of Pentacles. We will be a wealthy nation for all, because we will realize that there is more than enough and that Gaia is not our enemy. She is our mother. And when we work in harmony with her, all are fed and all are wealthy. The final outcome for our nation is wealth, and Gaia wins. There is only one road. There is only one choice, and that is green. And that is the future of the planet. You can't have slavery. Somebody said, what about racism and slavery? It doesn't work in Gaia's world. It's not how it works. You can't have a new green economy and suppress your workers. So we have to play by her rules, right? Which is cooperation, not dog eat dog. Dog eat dog is sociopathy. But if you look at the work of John Nash, A Beautiful Mind, which is what the film was about, it was about his theory that it was actually cooperation and working together in harmony with the earth, which keeps humans from going extinct. He won the Nobel Prize, so we should listen to him. Okay. Let's see here. So yes, even if we lose the house temporarily, we get it back because a lot of people are going to be kicked out. Special elections. I don't understand your question, Rose Blue. Oh, we have a donation here. Thank you, Catherine Rodier, for your $20 donation. Much appreciated. Summer Bandit Roundup. I don't know what that is. Or Sooner in Texas? A band? Oh, do you mean like arrest? I think that's what she means. Rounding up the bandits. Yeah, you guys got to get back to the good old days. What Texas was supposed to be, a place for harlots and LGBTQ community. And that's what Texas used to be, right? Everybody would run there to get away from the church. My saloon, my women, right? I have a right to my stuff. And then, unfortunately, the evangelicals chased all the free thinkers to Texas. And now Texas is like, we want to go back to being free thinkers again. We used to be revolutionary and in a good way, right? So, yeah. How can you get back to those days of live and let live? All right. Rounding up the criminals in Texas. Good to see everybody on Saturday. Well, it's interesting. What they're saying is that the Justice Department did not, even when the Justice Department knew that crimes were taking place in Texas and there were criminal investigations going on, etc., they still tried to be nice to the people of Texas that were under investigation, because that's how you run an investigation. You don't antagonize. It's similar to what Michael Cohen said when the feds showed up and raided his apartment and had to get the key for the for a storage unit, etc. They were very, very kind and polite to him because you want a cooperating witness. And so how the investigations are starting off in Texas is not terrorizing people. It's more trying to get people to just talk to the Justice Department. Talk to these people because you really don't have a choice. So you have a Knight of Cups coming from the feds, which is they're loping into Laredo. You know, this is a very nice approach to the investigation. It's like the lone guy on the white horse strolling into Laredo and nothing to worry about. I just want to sit down and have some whiskey with you and a nice little conversation. It starts off like that, but I don't think the criminals in Texas are particularly happy about that, because you have a Four of Pentacles, which is a hold 'em. Hold those cards close, boys. Yeah. So you have a Four of Pentacles there. So the Justice Department and the feds are coming strolling along with this nice, you want to make a business, you want to have a little conversation. And the response from the people in Texas, the corruption that is being investigated is caution. I see the Queen of Wands moving in. You don't want her showing up if you have done something wrong. I think we all know that. And that's because she's very territorial. She seeks justice absolute. She's Aries Leo, my way or the highway. I want it now, and I want it covered in chocolate. Queen of Wands, she has a very clear idea about justice, and you cannot negotiate with the Queen of Wands. I mean, it's my way, boom, boom, my way or the highway. Final outcome is that the truth is going to come out. High Priestess. It's also Torah, which is the Hebrew word for ta'or, from the light, or to bear the light. That which is hidden will be revealed. Imuna, or faith, The moon sits on her crown. The moon lights the way at night. So it's to reveal that which is hidden. So some investigation it starts off very gently. They start poking around and asking some questions. Then the response is that there is this immediate caution from the part of the lobbyists and business people that have been propping up this infrastructure. There's an investigation happening. I think it may have something to do with the treatment of immigrants, but also misappropriation of funds also came up quite a bit in those investigations. They're being audited. Texas is being audited, and it will go badly for Texas. There's an audit, and they uncovered schemes and corruption, which unfortunately people will have to work with the feds because they uncovered theft. Exile. Also, you have to realize the feds control the money stream. If you have been stealing money or misappropriating money and you wind up out in the cold, you don't want that before winter comes, and you want your friends to control the grid and violate all these federal laws because you wanted private people to get the money for energy and let them get rich rather than have the government infrastructure come in that has some rules and some controls. Same thing if you have a private army. Private army doesn't have to follow the same rules as the United States Army, which has to follow certain ethics, etc., when they're in a foreign country, right? So you have the same sort of thing: exile, fear of poverty, out in the cold. And the response from regarding the Texas audit: fear, stress at night, the money, holding on to, they're afraid of an audit, holding on to their coin, holding tight, 9 of Pentacles. Abbott's in trouble. I think he could be forced out. I don't even know how they would do that. They would have somebody temporarily hold his position and then might have to have another special election or something. Is this what's going to happen? Because look at this. The Queen of Wands, Justice Absolute, comes in, and then you have a 9 of Pentacles. Abbott may be forced out before he completes his term based on this investigation. Look at Abbott. Look at him holding the coin. Look at him stressed out. Look at this investigation that reveals something coming out from the feds, and we get our wish. Abbott's going to be it's very likely that Abbott will be forced out, and that we could see a special election coming in if this investigation continues and follows in this way. Well, at that point, do you want to see Beto run again? But this is the same thing I saw in Florida for DeSantis, is that they just don't have great endings. I mean, I imagine that this is the governor of Texas. I imagine this is Greg Abbott. He's watching his coin. He's stressing out about the money. It's an investigation, particularly when you have an outcome like this, which is about a truth being revealed. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. See what happens when you do naughty things? Does that surprise you guys that those cards came out like that? Well, I mean, Melissa, I think that's kind of what's happening here, in the sense that I think that that's exactly what's going to happen, is that there was misappropriation of funds. They started a very quiet investigation that was not entirely public. They kind of waltzed into the investigation. They didn't present themselves as enemies. I mean, they probably had local FBI officers who were good old boys themselves, hanging out, talking about sports. And, these are not people that are presenting themselves as the enemy. If the feds come in a Knight of Cups, but the Knight of Cups can also be a facade, right? The fact that Abbott and his cronies are pulling back, don't show your cards, and pulling back on the money, poverty, frigidness, frugality, the fact that Abbott shows as stressed at night, I would say there's something very bad headed his way. Because I do think that they could prosecute the people who kidnapped those folks. I think it's possible. Well, thank you, Jiggy Pardo Lord. Thank you for that donation. It's much appreciated. I mean, what do you folks think? All right, Lauren Boebert. I can't believe she isn't in jail yet. Looks like she did win her seat, but let's see about her future, because she's one of those people who's probably going to be forced out of Congress, and then the guy that ran against her can run again, and people are going to vote for the guy that's familiar. It could be one of those seats that flips. Abbott's cards are terrible. And well, you saw his cards. It's not good. I can't see 4 of Pentacles and 9 of Swords as a good combination. Well, unfortunately, Abbott cannot do that. That's actually a federal crime. And that's probably why his cards are so awful. Okay, Lauren Boebert. She's the Queen of Wands. But, there's another aspect to the Queen of Wands. I think Lauren Boebert wins temporarily. You can see my way, boom, boom, my way, right? The darker aspects of the Queen of Wands, my way or the highway. This is like a low energy Aries. I want chocolate. I want it now. Give me, right? So she presents as the Queen of Wands. The other who she ran against, his campaign is over. Knight of Pentacles. Her hope and her fear is the Justice Department. I think we can all see her cards pretty clearly. And then the final outcome for her is heartbreak. It's also a 3 of Swords, which is when you're heartbroken for somebody else. And so basically they're saying that she's probably going to be upset when she sees her cronies getting drug off to Bedlam or wherever. The Justice Department is right over her. Her friends are going to jail, and that's part of why she's upset. No, she's going to have to step down. She's not going to complete her term, and I'll show you how I know. First off, the Justice Department is right over her. Justice. Secondly, it's over, and her friends are facing jail time, 9 of Wands. She's heartbroken because she sees the people that she admired, her mentors, going to jail, 9 of Wands. Her hopes and fears, the Justice Department, the King of Wands. It's kind of like Robert Mueller's card. And then she returns back to the west, southwest of DC. She lost. She's returning back, heartbroken. So she will not, it's unlikely that she will, even if she wins temporarily, she will not complete her term based on those cards. She will return back. She will not be able to complete it. Okay, we've got a question here from Geocosmic Valentine about Eli Lilly losing $30 billion yesterday. It was a fake tweet by an $8 check. So it got an $8 check, I think is what she's saying. Was it Robin Hood? I'm a little confused, but I don't know. Let's take a look. Thank you, Kathy C. It's very kind of you. Wild. Wild, 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 wild. Eli Lilly, what the heck happened? They lost $30 billion. A fake tweet. Oh, did you just see? We just had my ferry go past. Oh, really? People see the ferry? It went fast this time. I think we're boring my ferry. My ferry didn't stick around much. Yeah, there's an investigation. There's an investigation into insider trading. Somebody made a ton of money. Look at that. But you've got the hidden queen, the hidden money. Then you've got an investigation here, and then hidden secrets, family secrets. So it was a case of insider trading. Oh, they're in trouble. They're going to get caught. The Justice Department is right over them. Cooperating witnesses. Yeah. So, yeah, it was good temporarily, but they're going to get caught. And the judgment is right over the people that engaged in it. And the investigation, we have cooperation. People cooperated right away, and they'll get their money back, which so their stock will go back up pretty quickly. It was a temporary thing, so it dropped and then it shoots right back up again. And then the people involved cooperate with the investigation. I know, poor Elon Musk, he thought he was going to turn it into a really cool way of promoting his ideas, and he was going to get more people into his whole Mars probe thing. That, he was going to try and convince everybody that it's his whole Mars thing. But instead, it's just become a nightmare. Well, what did Twitter tell us? What did Twitter's employees tell us? They told us that they are Twitter. And yeah, so we are Twitter, we are anonymous. That's what they said. It was kind of interesting when you went into the remote view on Twitter, because when I went into the remote view on Twitter, they had taken control. They walked off and they took the infrastructure of Twitter with them. Everything from their who they got to invest what money, everything. So they just took it all. And then because they knew how to make Twitter, they still retained all the power. So I don't know how this guy couldn't figure that out. Well, yeah, you fired us, but we still have complete control. We can take this entire house, move it somewhere else, change the name, and you're left with nothing, because we are Twitter. We are the people that have done the entire infrastructure. You lose us, you lose the infrastructure. And that's what they tried to tell him in the remote. Then he fired them. So that's precisely what they did. Because they had complete control of the infrastructure, they started doing things to the infrastructure. And then he lost complete control of it. And I don't know. We can take a look and see, Geocosmic, about, I think that's a great idea, what the future of Twitter is going to be. I think it's a rather amusing situation, really. Well, they'll just start another Twitter. Call it something else. Tweet. I don't know. Twatter. Well, I actually agreed with some of what he said about Twitter, which is that it was too many bots. Mastodon, huh? He didn't take Twitter. That's what that's what they keep saying that they want him to understand, is that they are Twitter. They retain all the knowledge, all the information. You can't take it out of their heads. It's all just people working from home on their laptops, communicating via email, who each have to do a certain thing. So if you fire them, it means absolutely nothing, because it's no physical place. It's a virtual world constructed by a handful of people. And so if you fire them, they just get together and create another virtual world. So it doesn't work. They are Twitter, Nine of Pentacles. It's their baby, it's their money, it's their house. It's fundamentally who they are. So you get rid of them, what do you got? You got nothing. So they're fine, Nine of Pentacles. How do you think he's doing? You betrayed me. You're making fun of me. If anybody who makes fun of me is going to be kicked off of Twitter, well, of course, everybody changed their name and started making fun of him. This is a person who feels that he has been betrayed by his own people. A new beginning awaits Twitter. By the spring also, because we of course read new beginnings often around the time of March, April, and that's within 3 months. Three of Wands, the ship comes in. I think it'll either be sold. Look, why doesn't he just give ownership rights to the old people? Well, that's what they had before. I don't know. All I know is this situation's resolved in 3 months, less than 3 months. So we're now at November, December, January, February. I think more like March. I think more like March, April. But let's take a look here. They're very angry. The people at Twitter are extremely angry, and so angry that they are going to destroy Twitter. And in a way, they want to destroy Twitter because, like I said, they can just go somewhere else and create a new Twitter. But you have this destructive energy of wanting to actually the owners of Twitter now want to destroy Twitter. The former people who were in charge are now tearing it apart. So what is the response from Elon Musk is the Two of Cups, which is, come on back. Love me now. Two of Cups, romance. And then the hope and the fear, a new beginning around April. We can see two April cards, both the Page of Wands, which is the Aries, which goes from March 21st until April 20th, I believe. April 19th, April 20th. And then Four of Wands again, which would be the 4th month. And so we can see that if all goes according to plan, the former employees of Twitter will destroy this company by April of 2023. You can see it's completely wiped out. For the good of the country, the people of Twitter who own Twitter, that are Twitter, will kill their baby because they think it's for the good of everybody. But the good news is they're just going to hop on board, have some Zoom conferences and discuss this, and then they can just go off and create another platform. And it's also a great opportunity for them to come together and talk about, okay, let's do a postmortem on the company. What worked and what didn't work? What are your complaints about the old Twitter, and how can we make it better on the new platform? Those conversations are already happening. So in a way, there are people that feel that Twitter was too big, that there were genuine problems with Twitter. And in a way, they're kind of glad this happened. So let's get together, let's destroy Twitter, and let's go off and make something better. Ten of Swords, though, I think this could be the death of Twitter. Dang, people. Well, I mean, there's not much of a left. I don't know if you can even save Twitter. I don't, to be honest with you, that night of swords over the former employees and heads of Twitter, do you think that with that type of destruction, do you think that they even want to save Twitter? Because they're fine, but look at what they're doing. They're going to tear it all down. They don't want to be working for some guy who's on an ego trip. Hi, Kelbell. Dang is right. I think the people of Twitter are going to do what they said they're going to do. I think they're going to destroy Twitter. I believe Elon Musk, when he said, because we've done remote views on Elon Musk, he said that he really wanted to start promoting some of his technology so that people could be excited about what he's excited about, Mars and techno. I believe him. But the way he went about it was so horrible that if he had been more subtle and worked with the people that actually are in charge of Twitter, he could have done what he wanted to do. I want to do this one throw that Rebecca is talking about. Y'all know about Nancy Pelosi is probably not going to be speaker, but even if she had won the speakership, which still could happen in a couple of months, because like we said, if they win the House by 2, 3, or a few votes, and then you have special elections when people get hauled off to Bedlam, you're going to wind up. You can't guarantee that just because we have a Republican House with these types of cards, that we're going to have a Republican House 3 to 6 months from now. That is how. Look, Knight of Swords is where the Republicans are at. They don't have control of the House. And if they've got 5 to 7 people or more that were part of the insurrection that are currently facing criminal charges, and some of those people are in swing districts, I can't guarantee that they'll be able to hold the House with those types of cards. Wendy, you're very funny. Wendy, are you the one that's related to Miss Mabel? I was just curious. We have a spirit guide named Miss Mabel, and people started showing up saying, "Oh yeah, that's my aunt." Yeah, Wendy, is that your aunt? It's a real person. Yeah, she's one of the spirit guides for this class. That's your grandmother. So Geocosmic Valentine, your spirit guide, your what do they call that? Your fairy godmother, yes. So Geocosmic Valentine got a reading that she had a woman that had lived in the South, was African American, took care of children, was possibly a teacher. And then it came out that it was Wenda Burt's grandmother. So Wendy, your grandmother is Geocosmic Valentine's spirit guide. So you two are connected. Can you believe this happened? So thank you, Wendy, your grandmother, for bringing us your grandmother. Isn't that crazy? She was a teacher. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's what she told us. And she also said, all God's children are my children. That's right. So we now have found the identity of the. Can you believe that? All right. Nancy's future. I'd be curious, Wendy, when you started watching us, was it a couple when if it's connected to when she started to show up and told us her name and everything? Yeah. So the more you want to know about your guardian angel, Geocosmic Valentine, ask Wendy. I want to just, before we close, I want to just talk a little bit about Nancy Pelosi's future. Would be great. Not to, one more question. If we can get a picture of her, that would be amazing, Wendy, because I have an idea in my head about what she looks like, but yeah. Long time. Yeah, she showed up about 2.5, 3 years ago. I didn't know where she came from. I was like, what the heck? Was she from like Georgia or Alabama? Where, someplace like Georgia or Alabama? I think she told us she was like from Georgia. I saw her when she was older, when she would babysit in the 50s, in the 1950s. She would watch the kids because they would get snatched. So on the weekends, she watched them. Did she tell you about that? Because she told us all about it. Crazy. All right, getting back to Nancy Pelosi. Oh, thank you, Kathy. She would like to go back to California and she doesn't want to serve anymore in the House. That is the answer from Nancy Pelosi. And I think I was watching Linda G the other day. Yeah, was it yesterday? And she had said the same thing. Yeah, I totally agree with Linda G. Knight of Knight of Wands to return back. It's off into the Southwest California area. Others in relationship to her, Knight of Cups. So offerings. Two of Wands, she wants to be with her partner. Also, we can see again the westerly direction with the Pacific coast. I always read Two of Wands because he looks to the west versus Three of Wands when they look to the east. This is how I read cards. It doesn't have to be how you read cards. Final outcome for her, speakership. So part of her really wants to go back to California, but she still has to go back to yeah. See, she's got such strong cards. She wants to take care of her health. I think she'll complete her speakership, but she needs to go home. Look at her. She's a strong Aries woman, California. She let her be in local politics, but I think she really, look at the family cards. Hopes and fears, Paul, her partnerships. She's working on her health. She'll complete her speakership and then she wants to step down and take care of her health and her husband's health. Archangel Raphael comes to her, which is about healing. So yeah, she'll be stepping down. But it's okay. We have other great people that are ready to be the next Nancy Pelosi. You know, I think Porter is going to win again. And a lot of people feel that Porter is probably going to be a very good speaker if we can see her in the future. So Porter is good. Yeah, a lot of great leadership for Speaker of the House going forward. But I don't see the Republicans holding the House for very long because I think that a lot of their seats are going to be contested or they'll have to step down because of various different issues that they are going to be having. I think we said that 5 people would face possible prosecution, which opens their seats up, and then a couple of others are going to have to step down because of various issues. So even if they temporarily win by a couple of seats, with the cards being as unstable as they are for the Republicans, I don't see them being able to hold the House even until the next midterms in 2024. All right. That was really cool that we found out A tiny cabin, but they weren't originally from New York, were they? Weren't they originally from the South? Because interesting. That was very cool that we were able to make that connection. Well, thank you for bringing her, Wendy. She's been a good role model for all of us. All right. Love and light to you all. If you are trying to get in for a reading, please check out tarotwithwhimsy.com or the information below this video. You can just click directly onto Booksy. I am doing the readings for people who sent Wizio readings, and I'll have those ready for you later today. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, it won't be me, it will be the Oracle of Whimsy. I'll see if I can make myself look silly tomorrow for Sunday's brunch. And I think we might switch the fundraiser to something, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. Maybe we'll do, oh, Ireland and England. Then it might not be you, Wendy. Because this person was African American, Florida, and came from Georgia and an Alabama area. Florida relief. Oh, but she sounds like she would be a good energy also. We had two Miss Mabels come in, Wendy and another woman. Her aunt, I think it was taught at, was it Tuskegee? Oh, Hakeem Jeffries, that would be a very good combination. Well, I'm not worried at all because it doesn't look like they're going to even be able to hold the house. This has happened before, by the way. I don't see them being able to hold the house if that many people are forced out. Yeah, Wendy, but I mean, this was somebody who was watching kids in the South when children were being snatched. So that's why I think it might be someone's. There were two Miss Mabels. Yours comes in a lot, but then there's another Miss Mabel. We'll figure it out. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Save your questions. Woo-hoo. Yeah, very protective. I like that energy. All right. Thanks, everybody.